Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Mayorga. I haven't been around for a couple of weeks. I've been busy. Other things got on my agenda, and it prevented me from coming back on and doing another little snippet on the characters of Alice in Wonderland. Because the very first one that I did was on the White Rabbit, and I talked about, I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about the others and their symbolism. And I think I was going to go. I talked about, I'll start with Alice because, she's the main character. But in reviewing some of the characters, I decided that instead today I'm going to talk about the caterpillar and what what does the caterpillar symbolize? And so when we look, okay, this just from a nature's perspective, let's look at what a caterpillar does. Number one, it walks really slow, kind of minds its own business, is looking for a place to settle in so that it can begin the process of becoming a butterfly. And so my question is asked from this perspective. Do you have a caterpillar in your life, or are you a caterpillar? Either way, it symbolizes your ability to slow down and to think about your life and to seek guidance as to where you're going. Be philosophical with yourself or have somebody around you. Maybe we all do at one time or not have somebody that comes up with these questions that you're thinking, oh, that's too much. I don't really want to think about that. But they're philosophical questions about the universe. Where are you going? What are you doing? Um, how are you growing? Are you being nonsensical about life or are you really thinking deeply about it? Yesterday, I was talking to somebody, and this person was really not very happy about the environment that sometimes she finds herself in and said, I want something deeper. People are so superficial, and I just don't like that. I want something deeper. Otherwise, why am I going to sit here and talk to you? Well, you can think about the caterpillar from that perspective. He may look slow, or she may look slow, may look like they're not getting anywhere, but they do get somewhere. And they are the symbolism of the caterpillar is the the thought about looking at life at a slower pace and then asking yourself those difficult questions, those philosophical questions. Who are you? What am I doing? Um, Seeking out people that will give you practical advice that makes sense for what you're doing. And so I just thought this was a wonderful symbolism of this particular character of Alice in Wonderland. And if you want to go a little bit further, the symbolism is about transformation and personal growth, which I think is something that we all seek at one time or another, or want to seek, but we don't know how to. Because transformation means leaving behind what was and looking for what is, either here or further in the future. And growth means getting out of breaking out of that little cocoon, that symbolism by the caterpillar, because they go into a cocoon and then they break out and they're a butterfly and they're able to fly and explore and go forward. So think about that. Are you a caterpillar? Do you slow down? Are you inward philosophically about what's going on with your life? Do you remove yourself from situations so that you can give time to contemplate? Do you get into a little cocoon until you're ready to burst out as a butterfly? Because it's all part of life, it's all part of growth. Um, if we remain the same without ever contemplating who we are, I'll give you another little story. I was talking to someone else yesterday, and this person was up in age, about 84, and was saying, who am I? at the age of 84, wondering who she was or who she is. And we go through life thinking that way. We get to a point where everything's going great, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then something happens, and then you stop and say, who am I? What do I want? What purpose do I have? Have I stopped to contemplate that? Am I giving enough time to get into a little cocoon for a period of time so that I can explore, so that I can transform, so that I can grow, and then come out of the cocoon into this fantastic butterfly that is able to go? So I would really want you to think about that today. Um, what are you doing? Are you contemplating slowing down? See, the caterpillar could symbolize slowing down enough to recognize that there are some areas in our lives that we need to examine, that we need to explore, that we need to stop and think about. And so this is what the symbolism of the caterpillar, because he's engaging with Alice and really being curious and forcing Alice to think about what's going on and how come these things are happening in your life. And so if you have someone that's a caterpillar in your life, that's great. If you haven't even thought about becoming a caterpillar for a while, to slow down and explore where you want to go, where are you, how do you want to grow, I certainly would like to encourage you to think about that. I personally myself was like the white rabbit at a very early time in my life for a long time, hopping, 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 and always saying, I'm running out of time, running out of time. But I've gotten to a point where I've become a caterpillar and I'm learning to slow down and in the process do the work that's necessary to become the person that I'm being called to be. Uh, recognize my purpose, recognize my gifts, recognize my personal growth, recognize that slowing down is not deserving to me. So I would just like to leave you with that for today. And I will continue to work on these little characters. I get busy, I think about something else, I work on something else, and then I come back to what I originally said that I would like to talk about. And this is very, for me, I use the word, this is very delicious because there's all these little nuances. And although if you haven't seen Alice in Wonderland, and who hasn't seen Alice in Wonderland, it's got a tremendous amount of information that we just need to. I always talk about the minutia. We need to push through the all the bushes that are there and go find those little diamonds that are sitting in there that can give us insight to what we're doing in our lives and what direction we want to go in. How can it be applied? And so many other wonderful little situations that can we can compare with. So may you have a good day, and I believe we're going to be getting some rain this weekend. So I'm clapping my hands. I keep looking at the meteorology map and see that rain is going into lakes and things like that, and it gives me a little bit of joy to know that we're getting replenished. So think about it like that. It's the caterpillar, or can a caterpillar replenish your soul and what's been missing and grant you the ability to examine where you're going? Are you listening? Are you asking yourself those hard questions and digging deeper for personal growth? Thank you.